Hello from Coleman and Company. I'm Stephanie, and today I'm bringing you what running an actual vinyl business would look like on a daily basis. We had a local bride in our area looking to do 14 shirts, everything from extra small kids all the way to 3XL, and thought this would be a great opportunity to show you what it's like to actually start with a concept and end with a beautiful product. So I've got a couple ideas that the bride had shown us. She had showed us first what she would want the front and back of her own shirt to look like, then what she wanted the front and back of her bridesmaids to look like, and then finally whatever would be more kid appropriate for the kids, okay? So she had her designs in mind, and of course making this into an actual life artwork takes a little time. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and show you a photograph of all the items we're using, including our Triton white opaque, our glitter silver, and our glitter white for the bride, and of course utilizing our Graphtec CE 6000 Plus cutter, and a couple tools like our weeding pick and scissors, and we can get this job done together. On the next part, you'll see us take our artwork to the cutter, or rather to the actual Graphtec Studio Pro, show you how to create the artwork to send to the cutter and get this done. I'll see you on the next steps. Now here are all the items we're going to be using on this project. I have 12 of 100% cotton bridesmaid shirts. I've got 2 child sizes, our 3 rolls of Triton vinyl, of course the weeding pick and scissors, and a measuring ruler to make sure that all the items I put together will fit on the garments. Now here we'll open up the program where we're going to pull up our artwork. There are a couple ways you can do this, whether it's an existing file or if it's a new type of file, we'll select the one here that has a little envelope and a picture coming out. It's going to open up within my system to find. I'm going to select my raw art folder here and then select the artwork that I'd like to use for this portion. And at this point it'll be the party our tails off here. Now, there are a couple things to begin with when you start to open your artwork. The first thing is to make sure you're going to vectorize it. To vectorize it, you're going to select bitmap and vectorize, but first to show you what that means, you'll see that as I move this artwork, there's a red line around the entire artwork. That means that's all it sees. I don't want it to see that. I want it to see the stuff on the inside. So let's go ahead and select that vectorize. There are a couple options. You can auto trace or Bezier, but instead I do the enhanced curves because there's a lot of curves in this. So I'll select that and see the red line around it. When you move the artwork from the back, there's that square again, okay, but behind it's the copy. So I'm going to delete this, the original artwork, and all that's left are these individual pieces. You can see that as I select it, they turn red, okay? The next part is you want to select the artwork, any part that you're going to separate or cut out differently, like this star, for example. This star, I'm going to cut in glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and first tell it that I want to group this part of the artwork. I'm going to select arrange and group it together so it sees one part. And then I'm going to go ahead and color it. Let's go ahead, select blue. Nice. Now all of these are part of the artwork. Next I'll select my seashells here, make sure I've got all the little pieces, and I'll hit Control or Shift and select each one. So you'll use that just like you do with fonts on your Word documents. And I'll select a different color for that as well. And lastly, my tail. Now, you can select a chunk like this, or you can hit Control and select each individual piece to make sure that you have all of the pieces selected in this arrangement. Or again, you can draw a box, but don't forget, if you forget a piece, just simply click. All right, and I'll go ahead and color this as well in green. Okay. And there you have it. Now we have all of the pieces individually separated, and this will help me with cutting. To cut, we're going to click this little cutting tool at the top. Now it's actually going to load up 2 different screens. There's this one, but there's also this one. Now I'm going to go back to this one for a second to show you. This is the production manager. If you have multiple jobs that you're doing, this is a great way to organize and manage that. We're not going to use that at this point, so I'll minimize it. Here you can see a sample of what your artwork looks like. If I click on this option tool, I can deselect certain areas. So as you see, I just removed the black letters, now the green. Now the seashells, all I have left is this blue star. And if I know I'm going to cut 14 of those, which I am, I can go here to where it says copies and simply click however many I'd like to have. This is the best way for me to maximize the usage of our vinyl, plus having some extras in case I make a mistake. Now, if you go here, note that you can remove them all, but it'll warn you that there's no cuttable object. So you're simply select one that you want to cut or multiple ones. There's a couple things we need to do to the cutter before we're ready to move there. So let's go to the cutter and have a look before we send this to cut. Now here we're going to turn on the cutter. It's a black screen. It'll turn the screen orange when you turn it on. And then next it'll go to the buffering. This is just the cutter getting fresh and ready to go. As soon as you do, you'll need to load your media. That's when you press the lever down and put in your vinyl, like so. Now you'll have some options to select. We're going to select a roll front edge because that's the way I've set it up. I don't need it to measure all the way around. And I'll need to check the depth of the needle, the actual blade cutting. Here I'm going to indicate that I'm cutting glitter vinyl. And once you have that all blade adjusted, the glitter vinyl placed, we need to do a test cut. If that works great and your test cut's clear like as shown, then now we can send it on to the cutter. So here I've pulled up a bunch of stars, again, to maximize my usage. I did the fins together the same way, and also, of course, my seashells. This is when I'm going to send it to the cutter to make sure that I've got every use of that vinyl as possible. And as you can see, it's cutting a little bit here. Now for the white, this is the portion that we're doing the lettering on both the back and the front. The glitter, we did all of the seashells and the names on the back and between the shoulder blades. It's doing a great job. All right, and then here with the white glitter, we're taking care of the bridal shirt, her lettering and her name. Okay, now let's weed it. Now, weeding is the process of removing the vinyl that you don't want on the garment. Now, I'm taking my time with this one a little bit just because those tiny lines, I don't want it to mess up any of those seashells. But, oh gosh, that looks great. Now, Triton is an easy weed vinyl, and for standard lettering, you can go a lot faster, like I'm doing here. Even though the letters are scrolly, it's looking really good. So I'm going to trim off the extra there, and then weed out the little insides of the lettering, like the E's and the A's and the B's, and so forth. Beautiful. Here's the mermaid tails. Same thing. I mean, Triton vinyl is very durable, so once you go and start to peel, you can get a little momentum going, but do make sure that you look out for any pieces because once you press it on, it stays on. So let's see here. It's always good to find a good graphic that's easy to peel like these are. Great, and onto the seashells. Same thing. I try to always find a good design that I can just start it and start to peel it around, and it's very easy to follow along. Gosh, I can already tell that those shells look fantastic. So now we're going to bring it to the garment. Now I recommend, pro tip here, I recommend to lay these out. Make sure that you have all the pieces and the fronts and the back if you're doing it that way. Just make sure you have everything laid out the way you actually want it to. Okay, because it's always the worst thing to find out after you've cut it out, after you've laid everything out, to see that you don't have what you need to complete the job. In this case, I have everything from all 12 of the adult shirts, the 2 kid sizes. I've got mothers of the bride, mermaid, bridesmaids. This is the flower girl garment. How cute. And then last but not least, of course, the bride, trading my tail for veil. Back and front. Good to go. Now it's time to take it to the heat press. Now I chose to use the Fusion, the Hotronix Fusion heat press because as you can see, I'm going to lay the shirt on, take care of one side. And remember, if you're doing multiple presses, you want to just do 1 second for each layer until you get to the final one. Then it's a full 10 seconds to finish your design, front and back. Continue until all of 14 of your garments in this case are done. You can see the brides, the mermaid bride came out beautiful. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, wonderful. Doing your bridesmaids, and you can just really see. Now, one of the great things is the Triton glitter vinyl is not scratching abrasive, so there was no hesitation putting it on the kids' garments as well. The ring bearer is going to be tickled. And there you have it. All 14 pieces done 2-color front, 2-color back. Absolutely gorgeous, all of them. Thank you for joining us here at Coleman and Company. Again, this is Stephanie. It was a pleasure to bring to you this bridesmaid shirt job. We hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.